It is Monday. And I'm glad it's Monday because I need a break. It's like full go this weekend, man. We saw the national anthem get performed 3 times this weekend. Jesus Christ. This place is such a... Oh, I see what it is. Hold on one sec. Somebody did something over here that they weren't supposed to do.
I was just saying that if you were seeing that means you were at things with a bunch of people watching fun sporting events. So that's great.
Yeah, we went to 3 separate sporting events this weekend and saw the national anthem get performed 3 different times.
Great.
Yeah. But busy weekend, so I'm glad it's Monday. I can relax.
Weather was awesome, and
it's going to continue. Yeah, this week looks like it's going to warm up by the end of the week, but the first couple days is going to be still in the mid to low 80s, and then getting warmer later this week.
Our air quality alert is back though until noon today at least, so be careful of that situation this morning. But should be for all intents and purposes a very beautiful Monday.
We've got plenty of stuff to get to, including bad news with happy music later on, our daily check-ins. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find our contact info online at rockmornings.com. You can also download either the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and you can get in touch with us through the apps with voicemails and pictures and videos. Very easy to do. Handy as well, having that app with you. Listening wherever you go, all that stuff.
Busy weekend as well for me, but not as many national anthems, I guess. Not as many sporting events.
Yeah. It was a wide range of entertainment. Let's just say that. We'll
That's good.
Recap our weekends here a bit later on. Get to some Bad Flower and some Blur in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. As you mentioned, the air quality is going to be a problem for the rest of forever, it seems. Every time we think we're going to get past it, they say, yeah, we're going to tack on a couple more days. And that's no different than this weekend where it was very hazy and kind of icky all weekend. I can feel it, when I wake up in my sinuses. And
kind of got a little bit better for a little bit of the weekend, but...
Yeah.
And if you're on the other side of the state, it's real bad. Over by the lake, oof.
DNR continuing its air quality advisory until noon today, tracing back to the wildfires that are burning in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. The National Weather Service said that a slow-moving high-pressure system is recirculating the smoke around, not moving the smoke away from the region. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency dropping its air quality alert after smoke conditions fell to moderate levels across the majority of the state. Of course, in Wisconsin, they're suggesting that you keep your windows closed at night to prevent smoke from getting inside. Iowa, which was helped by a weather system pushing in from the south, dropped its alert yesterday in the morning. So right here in Wisconsin, we're getting some, but it seems like all around us, they're starting to drop their air quality problems and leaving it with us.
Yeah, that Green Bay, Appleton, Sheboygan, Milwaukee, Kenosha strip of the state has got it way worse on that side as far as the air quality. But man, if you look at the map and then you look up to the poor folks in Canada where those fires are, I mean, look at that air quality.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't look fun.
I mean, that's like...
Does not look fun.
Not going out at all.
Lonnie Anderson, just before her 80th birthday, passing away over the weekend. Her longtime publicist said she died at a hospital in L.A. following a prolonged illness. Anderson's family said in a statement, "We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our dear wife, mother, and grandmother. Best known for her role as Jennifer Marlowe on the CBS sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, aired for 4 seasons on CBS. Got 3 Golden Globe nominations, 2 Emmy nominations for the series. St. Paul
was her hometown.
Was her where she was originally from. She was a St. Paul native. Back in 2021, she opened up about becoming a sex symbol on the show, which chronicled the misadventures of employees at a radio station in Ohio. She says, "I never thought I would be the Lonnie Anderson, the sex symbol, but I embrace it. I think I was lucky enough to have been able to play so many different things, and sex symbol was a part of that." Following the success and becoming a household name, she went on to star in the racing comedy Stroker Ace. That's where she fell in love with Burt Reynolds. Power couple in the 80s. And, then they, of course, had a serious falling out, a very nasty, contentious divorce that ended in 1994. Burt Reynolds telling People magazine in an interview in 2015 that marrying Anderson in 1988 was a really dumb move on my part. I should have known that you don't marry an actress. It wasn't lollipops and roses. Oof. So, yeah, they had a very, obviously, very difficult, bad blood-filled relationship that ended pretty much the same way. But she's passed away now just days before her 80th birthday, Lonnie Anderson. Manhunt continuing this weekend for a former U.S. soldier who allegedly gunned down a bartender and 3 patrons at a bar in southwestern Montana. The suspect is 45-year-old Michael Paul Brown, allegedly opening fire at about 10:30 in the morning on Friday at the Owl Bar in Anaconda, a city of about 9,000 people in the southwestern Montana. The state attorney general there said this is a dangerous individual who has committed an absolutely heinous crime against this community and these victims. Initial $7,500 reward for information leading to the capture of the suspect. They're still looking for this guy. They identified the victims as a 64-year-old woman named Nancy Kelly, who was the bartender at the time of the shooting, 59-year-old Daniel Baye, 70-year-old David Leach, and 74-year-old Tony Palm.
So a bunch of people just there on having breakfast or whatever on a Friday morning. And
yeah, so they've got helicopters up there. They've got dogs out. They're looking for this guy.
Yeah, it's Montana. There's a lot of open air there.
Releasing a surveillance photo of Brown that was taken shortly after the shooting, in which the suspect appeared to have stripped off most of his clothes and was just in his underwear and socks.
Oh, boy.
And investigators suspect that he stole a vehicle after the shooting that contained camping equipment and clothing. So he may be out in the middle of the wild right now and camping out somewhere, but they're trying to find that guy. Wisconsin's Department of Health confirming 9 cases of measles in Oconto County on Saturday. The first cases the state has seen this year. The DHS said all the cases were exposed to a common source while traveling out of state. Currently working to notify anybody who may have been exposed to the virus. The DHS says there's no public point of exposure or risk to the community, which remains low as of right now. And American Eagle responding to the critics over their ad with Sydney Sweeney, saying it was always about the jeans, not the jeans. I'm sure you've seen the...
I have.
How are your daughters reacting to this?
They
Do
don't
they care? This is like the dumbest thing that we... Why are people so mad about the dumbest things?
Because
if a company wants to use, which they've been doing for years, by the way, for centuries, decades, if they want to use an attractive young lady to sell jeans, that's their prerogative.
I don't think it was specifically just that part of it, but yes.
American Eagle ads where Sydney Sweeney is in the jeans and a denim jacket, seductively talking about her genetics, which leads to the tagline, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, spelled Jeans, like denim jeans. People extremely upset about that on the internet, claiming the ads were coded messages about white supremacy. Oh, my goodness. New poll says that 15% of Americans now think saying someone has great genes, Genes,
right,
as in your genetic code,
yes, is different.
Where the G
it's all different.
is inappropriate. 15% of people say that if you have great genes, it's inappropriate. As if you had anything to do with that. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't really have a say in the matter.
Well, if they... Yeah, they'd have to be alluding to that, and it would have to be Gene.
American Eagle releasing it, and they must be loving this, right? Like, look, we got this ad, and now everyone's talking about it. You fools are playing right into our hand. You don't realize how stupid you are. American Eagle releasing a statement saying, quote, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, spelled with a J.
Correct.
Is and always was about the genes, spelled with a J. Her genes, again, spelled with a J. Her story. Mm-hmm. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. Friggin' jeans. People are pissy about jeans.
I'm woke. Woke. I'm woke.
So, why aren't my jeans?
Now they are. Introducing Levi Woke, sizeless, style-neutral, gender-nonconforming denim for a generation that defies labels.
Get some jeans. It's back to school time.
You people that are into this crap, you people are just a bunch of idiots.
I was shopping yesterday for back to school and jeans and leggings and notebooks and all the stuff for back to school. There was a lot of parents out here yesterday, by the way, spending lots of money.
Yeah, I talked to
socks and underwear and shoes.
I talked to a young girl who was very excited about her new colored markers.
Oh, nice.
She got. I said, so did you do some school shopping yet? And she showed off her new kicks. She got some new sandals. And then talked to me about the 2 different notebooks she got and the markers and some pencils. She was very excited about all that.
Yeah, back to school.
It's happening. It's happening. Blur in just a couple of minutes. Bad Flower now. It's pause.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Blur with song 2 on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. A big weekend for the Brew Crew.
On the ground is short. Ortiz goes to second one. On to first. 2 double play. Ball game over. The Brewers sweep the Nationals. 14-3 the final score, and the Brewers just pummel Washington in the nation's capital.
16-9 on Friday, 8-2 on Saturday, and 14-3 yesterday for the series
sweep.
Did. The Brewers have now won 6 of their last 7 games, and in this 3-game series, they hit a new record, a club record, 56 hits in a 3-game series for the Brewers, surpassing their previous total of, I think, 51.
That's
a lot of hitting.
That's a lot. The games to be
and
at.
Churrio's down. The Miz is down. But they just keep on rolling. Now, granted, the Nationals are not a good team.
They are not.
They certainly, should have gone in there and done business, and that's exactly what they did. Their road trip, by the way, continues tonight at 6:15 in Atlanta against the Braves. Brew Crew All-Star rookie Jacob Mizorowski on the IL with a left tibia contusion prior to his start yesterday. Mizorowski told reporters that he anticipates missing about 2 starts and being ready to go after the 15 days. The IL move retroactive to Thursday. He took a shot off the leg and got himself a bone bruise there and going to give it some rest and let it recoup and
should be back in no time at all.
Back for the stretch run, yeah. William Byron fought off fuel worries, and the closing laps went the last 144 laps of the 350-lap race without a stop. On the way to his second win of the season, he won the Daytona 500 back in February, and now he won in Iowa over the weekend. His 15th win overall. He also took the season points lead from Hendrick Motorsports teammate Chase Elliott, so congratulations to William Byron. Big win in Iowa over the weekend. NFL preseason begins on Thursday at 6 with the Colts at the Ravens on the NFL Network. Obviously, we had the Hall of Fame game last week, but this is the actual preseason. Vikings will host the Texans on Saturday at 3 on the NFL Network. Packers host the Jets on Saturday at 7 on the NFL Network. Eric Allen, speaking of the Hall of Fame, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, and Antonio Gates all joining Sterling Sharp as the class of 2025 was inducted into the Football Immortality Hall of Fame. That ceremony at the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. The L.A. Chargers, of course, beat the Lions 34-7 on Thursday night to kick off the NFL preseason, and then they had the Hall of Fame ceremony over the weekend with those inductees going in.
I saw I didn't see much of it. I did see some Sterling Sharp's interviews, and that guy's a smiley, happy guy.
Well, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
How could you not be?
Yep.
Being recognized as one of the greatest to ever do it, I think there's, 380 or so people in the Hall of Fame, so, yeah, rarefied air. Mm-hmm. Congrats to him. We've got Foo Fighters with their latest in a couple of minutes, and if you need something from us, hit up rockmornings.com for all our contact info.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Do you know what today is?
Today is a huge holiday.
Some argue today should be a national holiday.
The bacon chocolate chip cookie.
It is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Chocolate chip cookie important to me.
It's a chocolate chip cookie! Yeah! Who wants chocolate chip?
I do. Chocolate chip, your favorite.
Happy National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
It's showtime.
National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, Gene.
Mm-hmm.
It's also National White Wine Day. Can you pair white wine with a chocolate chip
with
cookie?
anything? Yeah, sure you can.
Okay. And the U.S. Coast Guard birthday is today as well. C is for cookie.
Now, what starts with the letter C? Cookie starts with C.
It does.
Let's think of other things that starts with C.
Nah.
Who cares about the other things? C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C.
Simple and to the point. That's what you like about Cookie Monster. It's not messing around with anything else. Not talking about donuts or crullers.
Cake.
Cake, pie. Not interested. Cookie.
Cookies. Chocolate chip cookie day.
National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Television today/tonight, the 14th season premiere of King of the Hill is on Hulu today. Season 14 premiere of King of the Hill on Hulu today. You've also got Bachelor in Paradise on ABC tonight. You see the old Bachelor? Had to apologize.
No. What'd he do?
So they're doing the Golden Bachelor again, and apparently he said he said he didn't want to date any really old women. He wanted
he'll cut off
like there's an age cutoff. Yeah.
Yes.
So and then people got offended because that's what people do, and God forbid you have.
Is he back on the show?
God forbid you have tastes. You have likes and dislikes. I guess I have no idea. I don't follow it. All I know is I saw that there was a headline
out after his controversial comments.
Why is it controversial to have likes and dislikes? Why is that controversial? What the hell is going on?
He was cutting out any women over 60.
Okay. So? He doesn't want to date anybody over 60. What's wrong with that?
His preferences is 45 to
If
60,
you've got likes and dislikes, it's okay to have those, right?
Well, I think
you got to include some 95-year-old chick who's looking for love.
They probably wouldn't have a 95-year-old on there looking for love.
Lord.
I don't think.
People get pissy about everything. Crazy. So what? The guy likes chicks that aren't older 60. Oh no, the world is not coming to an end.
Is it that? Well, maybe don't be on the show then, because that seems to be the premise of the show, isn't it?
Whatever. Bachelor in Paradise is on ABC tonight. New episode of that. New episode of American Ninja Warrior on NBC. Also, the first season finale of The Librarians, the next chapter on TNT tonight. Most of the late night shows are new. Fallon has got Chris Pratt, Rose Byrne, and MGK as his guests. Colbert's talking to Julia Garner, who's in, of course, the Fantastic Four movies. Or movie, I should say. And Seth Meyers is talking to Jenna Ortega. Season 2 of Wednesday hitting Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that's
later
right.
this week. And there's also a new Wendy's menu.
Didn't support
featuring
that,
Wednesday Adam's meal.
It was a one-day event. I waited 5.5 hours. When it was finally our turn, we placed our order and drove through the Nevermore Academy gates. Each room was decorated to resemble different parts from the show. To make it extra spooky, a worker retrieved our order by opening a morgue door. The meal came with an event-exclusive pin, a 10-piece nugget, fries, 2 mysterious and very purple spicy sauces, and a vanilla frosty with the dark cherry swirl. And it even comes with a cute spoon.
That's a TikTok video from a writer from a website who had a Wednesday Addams-inspired meal at Wendy's to help promote Season 2. This was in Norwalk, California. The spoon has a raven and skull design. The sauces are called Dips of Dread, and the new season of Wednesday begins on Wednesday on Netflix.
I liked that more than I thought I would, because I was never really a big fan of the original program, but I did like Wednesday.
Wendy's says the limited time Meal of Misfortune was designed by Wednesday Addams herself.
That's funny.
Who they dubbed the other pigtailed outcast. The Meal of Misfortune is the opposite of a Happy Meal. Wendy's having a little fun with naming, not to mention packaging. Everything's black and kind of dark purple.
I'm sure it sounds like it, yeah.
You've got the Wednesday theme packaging centered around the Dips of Dread, which is 4 Inferno-inspired mystery sauces served with Reston 10-piece nuggets, a small Kirsten crispy fries, and a small Raven's Blood Frosty. Each meal will come with 2 of the Dips of Dreads at random. The Dips of Dread are named You Can't Hide, This Will Sting, Grave Mistake, and Nowhere to Woe.
Sounds like nothing you want. That's what that sounds like. Not the Dips of Dread, anyway.
They're available starting today in the U.S. Restaurants that are participating, you can get them through the app in time for Season 2, which premieres on Wednesday on Netflix. a Wednesday collab with Wendy's.
I think it's fun.
Oh, I'm not surprised they're doing something, but not for me. No, thank you. We were too busy this weekend. We Friday night went and saw some local wrestling over at the American Legion.
They were celebrating their anniversary?
River City Championship Wrestling, celebrating their 11th anniversary. Had a really cool event. Lots of really cool matches. Got to sit in front of a family that was, I think, related to one of the wrestlers.
So they had a lot of energy and support for that wrestler whenever he took the ring.
Yeah. And it was funny to watch the kids because, we don't have kids, so it was funny. The boy was into it, running around. He was yelling and screaming, and he had on
Way to go, Unc.
Had on his shirt, had on his mask that his parents bought him. They bought him a La Parka mask. And the daughter was just trying to get a nap in. She was more my style. She was sleeping on the chairs behind us. It was
don't care so much about this wrestling event on a Friday night.
I did see something that I found. My wife and I both found it to be very odd. There was and I'm not trying to call somebody out. I don't know what their situation is. It's just you go to these events, right? Local wrestling. Most people are into it. They're cheering. They're clapping.
Friday night entertainment.
They're hollering back and forth. Right? It's interactive. And because it's local, it's a much smaller stage than going to a WWE event where it's you can get drowned out easily. So the wrestlers can actually hear you when you yell at them. They can respond, but it's all in good fun.
Mm-hmm.
There was a woman though. I don't know what her deal was.
Into it?
No, not into it. Like completely not into it. Like right across from us, and I felt bad because I couldn't stop watching her. Because I'm like watching the action in the ring,
across the ring,
and everyone's popping to everything that's happening. There's good, wrestling. There's also very interactive, and she just
maybe she was just along with somebody who really
the guy
cared
she was
about
sitting
it.
next to seemed like he was really into it, and they were older. They were probably in their maybe late 50s, early 60s. So we were trying to figure out what. I almost wanted to go up to her and be like, are you okay? Like, what are you doing here? Because you don't seem to be enjoying it.
Well, sometimes you go to some stuff that you don't really want to because you're part of a partnership. And sometimes they go along with you and are bored at it.
I went to many emo shows with my wife that I didn't enjoy myself.
Yeah, so maybe that was her, I'm not having fun tonight at this thing. But
man, she just looks so, at first we're like, maybe she's a grandmother of one of the wrestlers. Or maybe,
right.
Maybe
there's a relation somehow.
Yeah, something along those lines. And then we were like, what if it's like some weird first date and he thought this was going to be a good idea, and she's like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing here?
No second date for you.
Yeah, she was super not interested. I didn't see her like react to anything that happened in the 2.5, 3 hours that we were there watching wrestling. She didn't have any kind of pop.
Wasn't her jam on
Not
Friday.
into it whatsoever. Then we went to an anniversary at 608 Brewing Company, their 7th anniversary. Speaking of anniversaries, congrats to Phil and Lori and the great staff over there, and had some beers. And then Saturday night we were at the Speedway for the Trailer Race of Destruction,
which is always a fan favorite, is it not?
So they had 6 shooters and Hornets, lots of great, regular racing, the feature race. And then the Trailer Race of Destruction, which is, a bunch of pickup trucks and minivans pulling boats and campers and pop-ups and RVs. And it was wild. It was wild. It was good. We've seen it before, so it's always fun, though. They paint them up and
they smash them?
Oh, yeah. Well, they start out they hose down the pavement to make it slippery, and so everything kind of, and when you're towing a 25-foot camper and you're going around a corner at 40 miles an hour, that thing's just gonna jackknife on you. So anyways, they're coming around the corner and the guy behind them bashes into him. There was one point where a guy, I think it was like a 30-foot camper that he had on the back of his truck, another guy in a pickup truck ran into the back of the camper to smash it out, and then his tires must have got stuck on the framework of the camper, and so the guy that was pulling the camper is pulling the camper, and the guy with the truck that's pulling another camper, so he's like just towing it. It was almost like a conga line in a weird sort of, but no, that was fun. And then yesterday we went to the Lager game, and it was crazy packed. It was just absolutely asses to elbows out there in the party deck. The weather was perfect, and every one of the decks was sold out. We're getting ready for playoff baseball, which is coming next weekend, so yeah, good times. And like I said, we saw the national anthem get performed 3 times.
Well, 3 different events that you went to, so yeah.
Busy. You were doing mom stuff, right? You had a birthday dinner and then...
Yeah. Let's see. Friday night, we went and had some dinner, just me and Mike. And then Saturday, went to a farmer's market and got a bunch of produce, which was delicious. Corn.
Anything weird?
No, nothing weird. Corn, tomatoes, cucumbers, green beans. What else did we get? Some really fresh, delicious stuff from our local farmer, so that was great, and enjoyed that. Got groceries, went home, did some cooking, yard work. Had some people over on Saturday night for some dinner. Campfire, had a campfire. That was cool. Not that the air quality needed more smoke in it, but we did. And then yesterday, a bunch of back-to-school shopping. That was pretty much, it went for like 5 hours. I was surprised that the card was able to function at the end of the day. That it didn't say too much spending for error, stop. Too much spending for one day.
Right. Well, good. I'm glad you had a good weekend.
It was nice, and the weather was great. Today continues that beautiful weather. Actually, the next few days, the only thing is the air quality is an issue again today until at least noon. That alert is in effect. But then it should be nice, as you mentioned, heating up later in the week. Our first chance for rain really looks like the weekend.
Stone Sour now, it's Bother.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course, give it away. Mix of sun and clouds. Going to be hazy.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be smoky. The air quality alert continuing through noon today in our area. Might get extended as well. DNR, of course, keeping an eye on that. But advising you to limit the amount of time you spend outside with the air quality being so crappy, thanks to the Canadian wildfires.
Yeah, and even significantly worse on the lake side of the state. Green Bay all the way down is red zone.
Everybody seems to enjoy cat videos. Cats doing funny things.
Mm-hmm.
Running around, going crazy, jumping, meowing, climbing stuff they're not supposed to climb. There's now a cat video fest that you can enjoy. It's an annual event, and it happened this weekend at movie theaters across the country. A guy in Seattle edits the best cat videos that he can find into a full-length movie. This year's movie had a running time of 73 minutes.
Of funny cat videos?
And it's raised over $1 million for charity since 2019.
Right. There's something about cats. They're a little bit more aloof and blank slate, so we can kind of ascribe more stuff to them, give them more characters and backstories and things like that. So I think they just naturally worked for memes and things like that. There are a lot of people who are just think of cat videos and watching it as kind of a solitary thing. And then when you get to a show and you're just around hundreds of other people enjoying it joyously, and you just think, oh, these are my people. Like, it's all out in the open. So we don't want people to be ashamed of their love for cat videos.
Cat Video Fest this year, a 73-minute G-rated selection of all things cats from the internet, playing at over 500 independent theaters in the U.S. and Canada, and a portion of ticket proceeds benefiting cat-focused charities, including shelters and animal welfare organizations. Over $1 million raised since 2019.
He had an idea, and it worked out. He put it in independent theaters. People are going and collectively raising money.
The guy's name is Will Braden. He's based out of Seattle, and he creates existential shorts. Business card reads, I watch cat videos. Not a joke or an exaggeration. Watches thousands of hours of internet videos to make the annual compilation. Said, I want to show how broad the idea of a cat video can be. So there's animated things, music videos, little documentaries. It isn't all just what I call America's Funniest Home Cat Videos, where it's cats falling into the bathtub. That would get exhausting. So it's all sorts of cat-related stuff that you see on the interwebs. And this guy puts them together, splices them all up into a movie.
Full-length
73-minute full-length movie. Raises money for charities. That's cool. Elsewhere in the cool news department, this is out of Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. Thousands of people praising a police officer for giving a child a little taste of victory after somebody complained about their lemonade stand. Seen these bitches in the past.
So
these Karens, these uptight people who can't handle a kid having a lemonade stand on the corner.
Didn't have the right forms. Is that it? Is that what it is?
Some lady complained that the kids were being annoying and being a nuisance.
kids can be, but yes.
Yeah, oh, certainly. Trust me, I'll tell you right to your face. Kids can be annoying and a nuisance. In a post from the police department, Officer Mark Sanguinito, responding to a call from Mrs. Anonymous, who reportedly made the complaint. The kids were too close to the road. They said the children were being annoying and a nuisance. The officer responded promptly and then snapped a selfie with him and the young entrepreneur, enjoying a refreshing cup while making some new friends. The chief of police said the officer was recently chosen to become the department and Mechanicsburg area school district's new resource officer. So this guy, obviously, his ongoing mission is to try and bridge that gap between kids and police officers in the community.
Lots of good officers doing the same work, yes.
The department's response to the anonymous complaint, of course, getting the internet all flurry, people very positive. Said, this made my day. Thanks to the police department for supporting this kid. Awesome job, officer. Thank you for your service and some common sense police work with community outreach. Somebody said, I don't even like lemonade, but bet you I stop and get some lemonade whenever I see kids doing this.
Me too. I always do.
They say, thank you to Miss Anonymous for calling to complain about a kid's lemonade stand.
Well, and they are resource officers. That's exactly what they're doing, is trying to build these partnerships with families and kids in the community. So good for them by supporting the lemonade stand. I will all turn around and go around the block as long as it doesn't,
We responded and enjoyed a refreshing cup while making some new friends.
Yeah, it's a $50 cup, but you're getting $5.
Yeah.
Because it's a lemonade stand.
Are we going to reach a point in this country or in this world where we're like getting past these like petty little things? Is this always going to be a thing?
Probably to some people. But then there's other people that are going to that lemonade stand and buying, like I said, a $5 cup of lemonade because they know those kids are saving for something.
Where we're going to get past it, we're just going to say, oh, that's cool. Some kids are making a lemonade stand. Now, legitimate concern, kids are being a nuisance, being annoying, maybe in your yard or
that one,
something. I don't know, but
they were out in the street and it was dangerous. Not sure.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find us online at rockmornings.com. We'll get to nothing more in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
And now, a person's thoughts at the gas pump.
This Chevron is so gross. Look at that pump. It hasn't been cleaned since Alexander Hamilton was president. He was president, right? Of course, now it's time for the gas pump interrogation. Do you want to use your rewards points? No. Do you want to sign up for rewards points? No. Do you want a car wash? No. Cash or credit? Credit. Which type of gas? I drive a 98 Tercel. Trust me, I don't need Techron. At least I can wash my windshield for free. Wait, where's the squeegee? Oh, they probably changed it to the bathroom key. I'm so done with all of this. Why don't I just buy a Tesla? Oh, right, Elon Musk.
And those were a person's thoughts at the gas pump.
You do occasionally want them to come out there and power wash those things because...
Mayflies,
spiders, just... It would be nice to see them get a hose down every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
ATMs that are, at banks, the outside ATM, the drive-through one, you get a lot of that where there's a light and there tends to be moths and bugs and all sorts of stuff, and you roll up and you're like, ew. Fight through the cobwebs to get to the ATM machine.
I have to fill up with gas today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I got to get some today as well.
Saw it dropped again, which is nice.
That's good.
I think $2.99 I saw yesterday.
I thought I saw $2.86 somewhere.
Ooh.
Got bad news, happy music coming up a bit later on. Get to our daily check-ins. Got a text from Ryan. Said, I have a question/comment to pass along to whoever made the streaming app. Maybe it's just me, but since the last update, any notification that I get kills the stream and I have to close and restart the app.
Thank you for the information.
Yeah, that's not my department, but I'll pass along your comment. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. Sorry about that. I know that could be an issue when you're trying to stream the app and something interrupts you. It can happen with if you open up a streaming app, whatever that might be, and then you go to a social media site and then the videos there or the reels or whatever interrupting your stream. So, yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. You probably don't step on a lot of Legos anymore, right? But when your kids were younger, probably had a little bit of that.
Tons.
Toys all over the place.
Yes.
There are researchers in China now who have developed a prototype robot that can see and pick up small objects like toys, bottles, stuffed animals, and also respond to voice commands. In the future, a robot could tidy up your house before the Roomba comes through and vacuums. Obviously, the Roomba can't handle the small things, the Legos and the stuffed animals. Yeah,
stops and bounces off of them.
Going in a different direction, but it obviously looks more terrifying right now than a Roomba. It isn't a humanoid robot yet, but it's bulky, it drives around on wheels, and it has cameras, displays, robotic arms, lifting platforms, and pneumatic flexible grippers.
So it's just like a wheelie cart that's just picking things
Kind
up?
of.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it's similar to
It's just walking around and picking
like
stuff
a
up.
beverage cooler with arms.
Yep.
And it goes around, and instead of the Roomba, which is sucking up dust and particulates and hair and whatever, this thing apparently uses, much like a trash truck will, go into your neighborhood,
grab things and
grab
put
it,
them
and,
inside the bucket.
Yeah, so the robot is still in the prototype phase, hasn't been tested in any real homes yet. Obviously, far more unpredictable circumstances when you get into somebody's house. There could be stuff all over the place, stairs, could be a thing. For now, it can only pick up items that weigh about a half a pound. Unclear if they're going to go more than that or when it's going to happen, but they're working on it in China. Some kind of robot that you can have in your house that'll pre-clean the house before the Roomba does its job.
Or maybe just the picking up of the stuff. Because when they were younger, you would clean up a playroom, turn around, go into the kitchen to make lunch, and turn around, and it would be like, how in the world can that happen in 7 minutes? It's completely destroyed again. Yeah. So at the end of the night, if you could take clean up that room for the end of the night, put everything away, so you wouldn't have to do it for the 80th time.
Some sort of autonomous robot running around in your
just cleaning
house
up that
while you're trying to sleep.
Well, maybe not even then. Maybe at the end of the night, just can you pick up all this area and make this so we can just sit and relax?
And then it becomes sentient and kills you in your sleep.
I don't think the cooler with arms sounds very sentient.
Yeah, it transforms into a full-size robot, and then it chokes the life out of you while you're sleeping. Puts your pillow over your face.
Transformers.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Now, if we could get some kind of robot that would get the dog out of the house for a vomit situation or like a poop in the middle of the night situation, so I don't have to get up and deal with that.
And clean it all up?
Well, yeah. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't happen often, but it's a real pain in the ass when it happens.
I know.
Especially if you don't get up and you don't hear it. Like, thankfully, we haven't had too many issues with that, but there has been one or two times with Remy since we got her almost a year ago where she'll get out of the bed in the middle of the night. I'm dead asleep. The wife's not in the bedroom anymore. She's gone to a different room because I'm snoring or whatever. And Remy will do her business on the floor, and I don't realize till I get up and step in it. And then it's like, oh, God. Not only do I have to, now deal with this.
I have to deal with this.
Yeah. It's going to make me late.
So a robot that could sense that, clean it all up, deal with it, just leave you a note, hey, this happened.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Paid helper.
That would be nice. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to sports in a bit. Also some Guns N' Roses. Right now, nothing more.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
SummerSlam in the books. Brock Lesnar back in the WWE. Jelly Roll. Didn't look too bad.
Yeah? For real?
Lost a ton of weight, first of all. Looks good, right?
Yes,
Svelte, a little bit skinnier.
I had been doing that. I had been working on that.
But actually, looks like the guy was working on the craft, right? Wasn't just one of those, stiff celebrity matches that we've seen for years where you get some guy who, because he's famous or he's hot right now, they want to put him in the ring. They tried it with Travis Scott. Obviously didn't work out, but Jelly Roll's been working on it. Him and Logan Paul out there and taking bumps and doing the styling and profiling. It wasn't too bad.
McIntyre now putting Jelly Roll, who's just knocked out cold. Wait, he's out cold. Logan Paul climbed into the top of the ring post. Toasted some prime.
Here's your viral moment, everyone.
And a splash through Jelly Roll, through the
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Jelly Roll. Wasn't too bad. SummerSlam in the books. Cody Rhodes beating John Cena. Had some nice words for each other there in the middle of the ring afterwards as Cena handed him the belt, and Cody Rhodes visibly emotional. Sort of a passing of the torch, like, hey, man, it's your time kind of thing. It was tear-jerking. Dominic Mysterio, taking care of AJ Styles. Yeah, just a wild weekend of wrestling. We'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw tonight on Netflix. What can happen after SummerSlam? Got people throwing their crutches on the ground and running into the ring and cashing in their money in the bank. Yeah. No? You had no idea what was going on?
Not that part, no.
All right. Elsewhere in the world of sports, the Brewers beat the Nationals on Friday 16-9, 8-2 on Saturday, 14-3 yesterday. And the series sweep for the Brew Crew over the Nationals. Their road trip continues tonight at 6:15 in Atlanta against the Braves. And speaking of baseball in the South, got a text from Jim.
Oh, he was at that game, wasn't he, on Saturday night?
He was not at that game. Said never made it to Bristol. Truck decided to break down on the way. As far as I know, you didn't miss much because not only did it have a problem with the rain, but apparently Major League Baseball really effed up.
Why?
Oh, it's bad. The fallout from this is they're comparing it to Fire Festival.
Shush up.
Oh, yeah. People getting nachos without cheese. People getting hot dogs without buns. We're talking about one beer vendor. We're talking about one food truck vendor for 91,000 people. It's not good. The fallout from this is going to be disastrous for Major League Baseball, at least for the people that were going to go to this thing. The MLB Speedway Classic, for all intents and purposes, sounds like it was an absolute unmitigated disaster this weekend. Rain,
they were
it had nothing to do with the rain either, right? Which, that was a whole other situation. But it sounds like
they knew what the attendance was going to be. How can you be unprepared? I mean, it's like they had an idea how many people are coming.
All I know is that from everything that I read about the MLB Speedway Classic that was supposed to happen or did happen this weekend at Bristol, it was a mess for the fans. So apparently the Speedway Classic, or the Bristol, right, they allow fans to bring in food and drinks and stuff, right? There's like because it's a Speedway or whatever. And I guess Major League Baseball didn't properly deal with that and didn't have enough vendors. Or
didn't compensate for what the
maybe
number
thinking
of
that more and more people were going to bring food of their own, which is not what people were doing. They were trying to go up to concession stands and waiting hours to get crappy food that didn't come complete with a bun for your hot dog.
In what was supposed to be the coolest baseball game you have ever seen, with nearly 90,000 fans packing Bristol Motor Speedway, Mother Nature took over.
Major League Baseball game in the middle of a racetrack.
Chaos. Braves versus Reds rainout. The blunder at Bristol.
Yeah, again, sounds like it was kind of a disaster down there. You can certainly do plenty of reading on that on the internet if you want to find out more. But the MLB Speedway Classic at Bristol,
oof,
kind of a mess.
I'm seeing pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Also, shuttles, it sounds like, to get
shuttles
to
were a problem. You had to take multiple shuttles to get there, like not just get on a bus and get there from wherever you were coming in from. They had to get on another shuttle. And, yeah, it sounds like it was a complete mess. That they had no idea what they were doing. Right? Go figure. Which sucks because, you want to see things like this be successful.
It's supposed to be awesome.
Right, it has an opportunity to kind of spawn a whole new thing, right? So maybe next year it's, at Daytona. Or maybe the following year it's
in the rain, like you said, you couldn't control that.
One thing you can't control is the weather. But when it comes to serving your customers and making sure that they have a good experience, just simple things like not spending 4 hours in a line to get nachos without cheese.
Well, and if the rain happened during the game, then all that stuff before must have happened with the food trucks and the music. And I know that they had that fan, experience, and That was supposed to be, the Clydesdales, and they were supposed to be Pitbull and Tim McGraw and Ferris wheels and all that. So I think that happened before the rain came.
For Jim, who didn't make it because his truck broke down, it sounds like he didn't miss too much. We've got some Seether coming up in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
Backyard, $12,000 settlement for my butt on the TV. Now I'm getting slack for showing my crack in the breeze for all to see. Viral on the internet. Now Google helps me pay rent. Google showed my butt walking around my backyard.
Yeah. So did you hear about this?
No. Was somebody walking around naked or something?
So this was back in 2017. And a guy was naked in his backyard. And he's got a 6.5-foot fence, right? So he's got a full privacy fence, naked in his backyard, sunbathing, doing whatever you want to do back there, right? You're fully enclosed. You're not bothering anybody unless they're looking at you from above. But Google Street View, one of the cars that has the cameras on it, right, comes by, taking pictures, whatever. And obviously your address is also a part of this. So the picture of him with his pants down goes onto the interwebs, and it becomes a viral sensation where people are like posting, if you see a meme, like go to Google, type in this address, and then see what happens. And that's what happened to this guy. Showed a picture of his butt. It wasn't his full, frontal there, but also contained his address, spread across the internet, and he sued Google in court, and they awarded him $12,500.
For his butt.
Yeah. This was in Argentina. Had his whole bare ass captured by a Google Street View camera, published on Google Maps, awarded a modest sum by an Argentine court for having his privacy violated, his dignity damaged. The man, who was a police officer at the time, naked in his yard in 2017 when the car came driving by, even though he was behind a 6.5-foot tall fence, the camera still caught him with his pants down, literally. Google will typically blur out faces when they appear on camera, but butts apparently can be...
They won't blur the butt?
Can be fully plastered on the internet. And that's exactly what happened. According to CBS News, the man claimed that he was humiliated by the situation, subject to ridicule from his coworkers and neighbors, because Google's cameras could peep over his wall and that kept his nudity private from prying eyes as, a normal human would, right? You want to protect your neighbors from that, right? Like maybe he's a naturalist and he wants to be naked in his backyard, naked gardening, whatever. So Google, of course, the typical corporate bastards that they are, argued that his wall was not high enough.
How high would it have to be?
I don't know, but apparently higher than 6.5 feet, which seems to be pretty effing high, since the average human being is about 5'10". But this guy ended up winning in court $12,500
for
after
his
taking
arse
Google.
being on the internet.
Yeah, for his ass getting on the interwebs. Got a text from Chris, said, "Hey, bud, I was at the game in Bristol. I don't know what concessions those people went to, but my nachos had cheese and chili and plenty of cold beer."
Good. I'm glad
Good
to
for
hear
you.
that.
I'm happy for you, Chris. I'm glad your experience was not the same as everybody else's. But a lot of the stuff I read on the internet was that it was an unmitigated disaster. At least the first day before the rain out, it was somewhat of a mess. That there were parts of the ballpark that were unprepared for the amount of people. 91,000.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
But not Chris. Chris sounds like he was hooked up. He was in the VIP section.
Awesome. Good.
When was the last time you went camping? Camping. Like tent, pop-up, camper.
Like a tent?
Not necessarily a tent, but just camping. Like, not a log cabin. You know what I mean? I'm talking camping.
It's been a long time.
Okay.
We took the kids a number of times tent camping at Neshonoc.
Okay.
Out here. place
somewhere
to swim,
close
games,
by,
stuff to play.
A little safer, right near the city.
We did a bunch of camping before kids, Black River Falls area along the, sometimes we'd go in a canoe and we'd take a tent and do sandbar camping.
Did you ever go camping and have someone in distress? Maybe not someone not in your party, but someone in the campground that you had to...
No.
They had to help?
No, but
not
like a bee sting and a reaction or something like that?
Not necessarily a medical event. More of just someone having an issue and you had to come to their rescue. Whether it be, maybe
couldn't get a fire started or
whatever.
My bike tire's flat.
Something along those lines,
No.
Last Thursday, a search and rescue team in British Columbia, Canada, was called to a remote hiking and climbing area in the woods after a couple of hikers reported hearing repeated cries. Someone in the woods yelling, repeated cries. The hikers calling, the search and rescue teams
saying we can hear
responding.
somebody making noise and it sounds like they're in trouble.
When the teams arrived to the woods, they heard faint yelling and started to hone in on where the sound was coming from, right? Closing in on the area. Eventually, they found a man who was camping alone, but he was not in distress. He was, quote, singing his heart out to the trees, belting out Nickelback's greatest hits. In Canada, no less. The most Canadian of Canadian stories right now is this guy camping alone. Singing really loud to Nickelback tunes out in the woods.
And they think it's someone in distress.
The first responders thanking the hikers who called in just in case. The search manager added, quote, remember, our services are always free and the money you save could be spent on singing lessons. So this guy's just out there having himself a weekend singing Nickelback's greatest hits in the woods.
Think about how happy you have to be, though. He's out there. You said remote. Those hikers were at a remote.
Well,
this is a remote campsite.
That's where you can get
get away from people and things and stuff and commune with nature. And you're just so happy. Just singing. And they're like, ooh, that sounds like somebody in trouble.
So some Canadians out there in British Columbia tenting all by himself in the woods. And some hikers thought he was having some problems. Rather than go to try to track the guy down.
Well, maybe you can't. You can hear it, but you can't find it.
They called into the search and rescue team who showed up and tracked the guy down and found out he was just having himself a weekend with some Nickelback tunes.
I'm doing good. Officers, DNR agents, I'm good.
I'm just listening to Nickelback's greatest hits, man. Get off my back.
And I'm happy.
How could you not be singing really loud to Nickelback out in the middle of the woods? It's Leader of Men.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Text from Rob. Said a robot that cleans your house. I can't wait for the first hashtag Florida man that tries to have sex with it. LOL.
They have those dolls, too. That's a whole other section of the list.
Yeah. Those already exist. But if anybody's going to try to have sex with a house cleaning robot, it's going to be hashtag Florida man. More than likely. Jim never made it to Bristol for the MLB Speedway Classic, which was this weekend. Said his truck broke down. We had another texter, Chris, saying he went to the game. I was talking about how it was based on the stuff that I was reading on the internet. It sounded like it was kind of an unmitigated disaster in certain areas of the ballpark. Chris said he was at the game. Don't know what concessions those people went to, but my nachos had cheese and chili and plenty of ice cold beer. I said, you might be in the minority. All the stuff I read online was that it was a disaster. And he sent in a picture, said, I guess we got lucky. It was fun, however. And the picture from inside the ballpark at the Speedway doesn't look like there's a lot of people there. Just at the time he took the picture, he said that was yesterday when they picked the action back up after the rain delay.
After the rain delay, which was like 2.25 hours. So I'm guessing a lot of people
said,
cut
no
and
more.
Run.
We're good. We're good. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Always good to hear from you guys. Rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with us. You can also download our apps, whether it's the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and you can submit stuff through the app. Voicemails and pictures and videos. We did get a text late on Friday. We didn't get a chance to read it, but I wanted to make sure we reference it because I know he listens all the time. Smokin' Joe, your buddy out there in Wyoming.
Yes, I love
long-time
Smokey
listener.
Joe. Yes, long time.
Said, happy birthday, Gene. Sorry I'm late.
That's all right. I understand.
They're roping
He's
cattle.
Busy on Friday. He's doing all sorts of stuff.
What do Wyoming farmers or ranchers do on a Friday?
I don't know what he's doing with his ranch. If he's moving cattle from one field to another.
Does he
if
have
he's
cattle?
Working, I don't know. Or if he's just doing
Is he busy
field
rustling?
work. And,
don't they rustle?
I don't know what he's got and what
ropers rustle. Are they roping and rustling?
Wide open spaces out there, though. I'll tell you what. Boy, can he see the meteor showers? I bet at night.
Smoking Joe, thank you for the text. Appreciate that on Friday. I did talk to a listener yesterday who was very appreciative. Said he had to pull over when he was listening to us on Friday and heard all the audio clips of Gene.
Yeah, very appreciative.
Said, thank you for that 4 minutes. He said, I had to pull over because I couldn't see through the windshield.
It's awesome. I love it so much.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Rockmornings.com. That's the website. Find all our contact info there. We're going to get to the friggin' sports and bad news, happy music, but first, Volbeat.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
Volbeat with a monster's hand on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The friggin' sports! Brought to you by another dildo on the court.
I saw this. Is this what?
It happened again.
Hayes gets blocked by Maya Caldwell. Something flies on the court, actually, from the crowd. The officials will say they will continue play as that goes off the fingertips of the Valkyries. But that needs to be addressed. That is a first. And the object is still down on the floor on the opposite side of the court. It was something green that was launched.
Please be advised that anybody engaging in any sort of behavior, such as fighting, throwing objects, attempting to enter the court or play, or using improper language or gestures are subject to ejection and arrest.
So for the Valkyries to actually play through that, I was shocked that wasn't picked up earlier, but they played through it. And you can see the object, the block right there, and the object comes, that green thing bounces, and it goes to the sideline. We're not exactly we're not sure where it came from. But to my knowledge, it's still underneath the seat. I'm looking right at it. Why it would have been launched, I do not know, but they got to get that person up out of here now. And security is on the way. We don't play that. There is no room for that ever. And no one's picked the object up yet. You guys, oh my gosh, okay. Okay. Inappropriate. Get him out of here, whoever it is.
That was the incident from last week between the Valkyries and the Dream, where a bright green dildo made its way down onto the floor.
Same kind of thing, kind of a copycat behavior this weekend.
And earlier this weekend, in the third quarter of the Valkyries, I don't know if it's a Valkyrie problem because this is the second game for them that it's happened, taking a game on Friday night against the Chicago Sky, 73-66 final score there, the Valkyries getting the win. But another bright green sex toy thrown from the stands at Wintrust Arena in Chicago and landing just out of bounds underneath one of the baskets. Game halted. An official there kicking the object to the side where it was picked up with a towel and removed. The center for the Chicago Sky, Elizabeth Williams, told reporters after the game, "It's super disrespectful. I don't really get the point of it. It's really immature. Whoever's doing it just needs to grow up."
Yeah, and they were saying athletes around the world for a very long time have been, things have been thrown on courts, they've been pelted by objects, but never is it cool. And, people need to behave like adults. These are athletes, but so it's happened to lots of people, but it's not. It's never cool.
Isabel Harrison, a forward for the New York Liberty, on Twitter said, "Arena security, hello, please do better. It's not funny, never was funny. Throwing anything on the court is so dangerous."
Yeah.
Well, first of all, look, they can't predict the future. Somebody's going to stick this thing in their butt, and they're going to bring it into the game, and they're going to throw it on the court. You can't stop them from doing it. You can only hope to get them afterwards, right? I mean, you pat people down, you put them through the metal machines, all the stuff.
Hopefully this isn't in mass. It's just one or two people who have followed this team, who are at these games and things.
Or it's a copycat thing, and it thinks it's funny. Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham going on Twitter saying, "Stop throwing dildos on the court. You're going to hurt one of us." WNBA says that any fan caught engaging in such behavior will face prosecution as well as a ban from the league. WNBA said that the individual who threw the sex toy onto the court at an Atlanta Dream game earlier this week was arrested, and that any person throwing objects onto the court will be ejected from the arena and face a minimum of a 1-year ban.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's happened now twice in the last week where somebody's throwing dildos onto the court at WNBA games.
Within a couple days of each other.
You can expect more of these incidents. It's not going to stop. And the more attention you bring to it, the worse it's going to get.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if they find out who's doing it, and like I said, it's one person or it's couple people that are related, same team, within just a couple games of each other.
But yeah, I can see this continuing as it continues to get coverage in the media and all that. The friggin' sports brought to you by Bright Green Dildos. Only on Rock Mornings. We'll get the 5-figure death punch and bad news, happy music in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
A couple abandoning their 10-year-old son at the Barcelona airport in Spain because his passport had expired and they didn't want to miss their flight.
You are kidding me.
So they left his ass at the airport and called a family relative to come pick his ass up because they didn't want to miss their flights. They had another son or another kid with them.
So they're like,
and rather than
all three of us have got our stuff, we're moving along and we're going to call Grandma. They'll be here to pick you up in a couple hours. You just stay put.
You, of anybody, should know how much planning and time and effort goes into a vacation. And the money.
Yes.
And all that stuff.
And the three of them were all ready to go do this experience.
It's obviously not the 10-year-old's responsibility to make sure the passport is up to date.
Also correct. Not the 10-year-old.
That's a parent issue.
That's a parent issue.
But these things happen, right? Screws fall out all the time. The world is an imperfect place. Somehow this kid's expiration date on his passport fell through the cracks.
So they get to they're going to go do some international travel.
They've spent months planning this thing.
Yep.
Months, weeks. They booked the hotels, the flights, all the things, right? They spent a bunch of money, a bunch of time. They're ready to go.
Well, and they're going to lose all that, at least the flights.
And if you can't get on it and you got non-refundables, then all that. The hotels, the cars you rented, the book, all of it. All because this stupid 10-year-old kid couldn't keep up to date with his passport. So they left his ass at the airport.
I guess I sort of can possibly understand that. If this is their hometown airport, that would be like if we went to the airport, you know what I mean?
Right.
And in La Crosse, and then it was like, hey, there was something crazy that happened, and my friend could come pick up one of the kids and be there in 15, 20.
There's not first of all, I'll say there's not a ton of information on this story. This is one of those stories on the sun.com, or the sun.co.uk. So this is one of those stories, but there was a flight air traffic coordinator that works at the airport. Her name is Lillian. She made a TikTok video about the incident, slamming the parents of the young boy, claiming the child was forbidden from flying as his passport had expired, also required a visa. Parents then decided that instead of missing the flight, they had to get a relative to come pick up the kid so they could continue on their journey.
Yeah, okay.
The plan went awry after the airport staff found the young boy on his own, alerted the cops, and the air traffic controller, the coordinator there, obviously got involved. The TikTok has now got over 300,000 views. She was saying he told them that his parents were on the plane on their way to their home country going on vacation. Urgent contact was made with the plane's pilot, confirmed to police that had told him there was a minor in the car park, then asked passengers if someone had left a child in the terminal. No one answered. So, yeah, these parents apparently finally came forward and were accompanied by another smaller child And apparently they got a relative to come and pick this kid up, but I don't know. You kind of see both sides of the coin there, right?
I do. I mean, if I had to make that decision, I would have involved somebody from the airport, too, right? I wouldn't just leave
Let
him
someone know.
Yeah. Well, I'd put the kid in someone's hands that's a responsible adult within the airport saying, here's what's happening. This person, it looks, this is their number and their information, and you're going to sit in this office or this, next to these folks. They're going to take care of you until Aunt Lori gets here or whatever. Not just kind of like hope it works out.
Right. Don't worry, Jimmy. We'll come back for you.
Somebody will be here, I'm sure of it.
Just go wait in the car in the parking lot.
Here's $20. Get yourself a Starbucks.
Get a soda and a piece of Sbarro's. You'll be all right. What's the cutoff age? Because 10's a pretty good age to say, okay, he's responsible enough for 15, 20 minutes at the airport, right?
Yeah, but like I said, I'd probably get an airline person assigned to them. Because that's what my friend did when her daughter had to travel.
Right.
When she was younger.
Right,
she'd put her on the plane,
right.
She'd drop her at the airport.
Let the airport people know.
They'd have somebody that would be an assistant.
According to the adult video platform clipsforsale.com, the newest and steamiest trend of the summer is a very specific kink. Blowing up beach balls.
Like other people like to watch other people blow up beach balls?
So I'm going to clipsforsale.com and I'm searching for blowing up beach balls. 46.85% surge in content featuring people blowing up beach balls. We often think of summer as a slow season for adult content because people are out of the house more, said a representative for the website. But summer also awakens those specific beachy fetishes that lie dormant the rest of the year. While you're worrying about getting sunburned, maybe getting a bikini wax, somebody out there is also fixated on scuba gear, which is up 37.44% in the summertime. Even sweat itself is getting some fun in the sun this summer. Views of glistening, sticky clips spiking nearly 18%. But yeah, all sorts of seasonal stuff is spiking at clipsforsale.com. Especially these blowing up beach balls. The summer of beach balls.
So beach balls in particular, not rafts or not donuts.
We had that guy. We've talked to that guy before.
Blowing up the pool donuts. No,
it's specifically
not
beach balls. Girls putting their lips.
Inflatable unicorns and stuff that you can ride down the river on those.
No,
just the balls.
A truckload of hot dogs spilled across the Pennsylvania interstate on Friday after a crash that briefly clogged up the heavily traveled artery in both directions. Crews and other people tasked with cleaning up the big mess. The fire chief there said, "I can tell you personally, hot dogs are very slippery. I did not know that."
Yeah.
The fire department chief said once those leave the truck and hit the road, that's all garbage, and it's still pretty warm. But there's boxes and boxes and boxes of these things all over the highway, not to mention the ones that have spilled out and have been run over. The truck scraped along a concrete divider, trailer ripping open, the contents scattered all over the highway. 4 people required medical attention. Injuries that police say are non-life-threatening. Front-end loader was used to scoop up most of the hot dogs and drop them into a dump truck. Emergency crews couldn't help but see the humor in the situation and...
Oh, yeah. You got to make some hot dog jokes, right?
Said, "I can tell you personally, hot dogs are very slippery. I did not know that," said the fire chief.
Super slippery. Hard to get all those dogs up, cleaned up.
Well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
And loader.
Here's an interesting glitch.
Yes.
In the universe. What do you know about the month of October?
I believe it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay.
It has Halloween. at the very end. It has 31 days.
30 days past September, April, June, and November. All the rest at 31.
I was married in the month of October. I can tell you that.
Did you know that in the year 1582, October is missing 10 days?
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd.
October 3rd is there. But from October 4th to the 15th, those days are missing. And if you actually go on your phone and you scroll all the way back from 2025 to the year 1582.
Oh, my God. What?
So take a look at the calendar. I think you can even search, right? Go by year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can put in 1582. Do a bit of scrolling.
So 10 days were skipped?
Yeah. Scroll back to October 1582 on your phone if you want. If you got some time. The dates jump straight from October 4th to October 15th, skipping 10 full days. And it's not a glitch in your phone operating system, your iOS.
It was an adjustment that was made to the calendar, it sounds like?
The Julian calendar before 1582 was what most of Europe used, which had been introduced by Julius Caesar back in 45 BCE. Problem was it miscalculated the solar year by about 11 minutes. That tiny error added up over the centuries, shifting the calendar out of sync with the seasons, religious holidays like Easter drifting further and further away from the spring equinox. And then to fix it, a pope back then, Gregory VIII,
just said,
introduced
wiped out those days.
The Gregorian calendar, which corrected the error by tweaking the leap year rules and deleting 10 days, which became 11 in some places due to accumulated differences. So when the change took effect in parts of Europe, the calendar jumped overnight from October 4th to October 15th. In 1582, those in-between days apparently never happened. Eventually, somebody figured it all out and corrected the issue. But if you scroll, if you want to see something interesting, if you've got time, like an hour.
Unless you can just go to the date. I'm looking at it right now. I just
1582.
Yeah.
You got to go specifically to that.
So if you were
day.
alive in 1582 and your birthday, you didn't have one.
Yep. You were a leap year baby.
You were skipped.
In a weird sort of way. Unidentified man reportedly driving around #Florida, going to state parks, and stealing Smokey the Bear signs.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's all he's doing is stealing those?
Yeah, the wooden ones that warn you about forest and wildfire risk. So we see these ones, right? The big ones that are out there, the low, moderate, high risk today.
Yep, there's one every time I drive 14 to see my mom.
The guy would then turn around and list them on Facebook Marketplace for up to $2,000 each.
So he's not shy about the fact that he's stealing them?
No, he's not trying to hide the fact that he stole them, because who the hell's got one of those unless some guy's ripping them out of the ground? Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture, a guy named Wilton Simpson, says the suspect was caught in the act and that Smokey was actually on hand when he was cuffed and loaded into the patrol vehicle.
Was he really?
Smokey is always around our forests and just got lucky today that he saw the bad guy and got him handcuffed, called the thief an idiot.
Smokey is always around our forests, and just got lucky today that he saw the bad guy and got him in cuffs. Who goes and steals an image of Smokey Bear and then tries to profit off of that? If you're going to go in and commit crimes in our forest, you probably need to find a different place. Not only will you find Smokey in some of those forests, but you'll find our Carl officers. We're the most pro-law enforcement state of the union. Smokey Bear is on the job also.
Obviously not a real bear, but a guy in a Smokey the Bear costume who they used to go to schools and teach kids at the campgrounds and all that stuff. He happened to be in the truck at the time doing PR work when they saw this idiot out there and arrested his ass. And there's Smokey holding the door for him. Well, that's
can't believe
hot.
he was putting that mark.
That's got to be hot. I mean, you were talking about
like
Key West. It was super hot. And this guy's down there in Florida wearing the Smokey the Bear costume. It looks very warm.
Very sweaty.
Oofta. Last but not least, talk about playing the long game on this one.
What?
This is I got to admire the anger, the level of anger on this. I got to admire it because it simmers, it boils underneath the surface, right? And then finally
explodes.
It explodes. Cops in Paterson, New Jersey, looking for a man who stabbed 2 deli workers last week over a sandwich order from 4 years ago.
What?
This guy showed up on a Thursday complaining about a sandwich that he got 4 years ago that had eggplant on it. Apparently, he claims he's allergic to eggplant and it made his stomach upset. When they asked the guy to leave because he came a little bit belligerent, he pulled out a box cutter and started slashing people. One of the workers got slashed in the arm. The other ended up with wounds to his stomach and chest. So, really cut this guy up. The second guy is still in the hospital, but luckily both of them are expected to recover. Business next door got the guy on video. Police are still trying to track his ass down.
Every time they make him happy, he's looking for another problem. He just looking for problem. He's like nuts, crazy. He say he's allergic with the eggplant, and he told him, you give me the eggplant in my sandwich, and my stomach was bothering me and stuff like that. Why you finish the sandwich? Why you come back 4 years later asking for why?
Yeah, why is a good question.
This is the Baladna Bakery in Patterson, New Jersey. The business owners say the angry customer ran away after allegedly stabbing Assad and his brother Muhammad inside the family bakery. The guy was upset with the workers over a sandwich he ordered 4 years ago. Suspect walking into the bakery at about 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday, complaining about eggplant that he wrongly got on his sandwich, saying that he was allergic. Dispute turning violent. Muhammad got stabbed in the stomach. When his brother stepped in to help, he was slashed in the arm. Both men treated at the hospital. Dozens of customers showed up to the bakery on Friday, not expecting it to be closed. One customer said it's a nice place, clean, and the service is great. Business owners say they are concerned for their safety as police continue to look for this lunatic.
Yeah, who's out there still angry about a sandwich he had 4 years ago that made him sick. You can't even anticipate that the people are going to be the same workers 4 years later.
Or that it's the same exact business.
Right. That's
might have the same name, new owners,
all that.
Unlikely, but you wonder if there's more at play here with these guys obviously having, the names that they have.
And still out there running around.
With a box cutter and slashing people over eggplant in his sandwich. I got to be honest, I don't want eggplant in my sandwich.
I don't want it either. But
But I'm not going to come back 4 years later and stab somebody. I'm going to pick the eggplant off or get a sandwich remade or something like that and then go about my business and probably never go back to that place.
Agreed.
I don't even know what it would take for me to want to go back 4 years later and have an argument. I mean, you'd have to really mess with my sandwich. There'd have to be semen or condoms or something in there, or poop.
4 years that you're hanging on to something like that?
Yeah, eggplant's not enough to go back 4 years later. That's minuscule. We're talking even hair. You get a hair. I don't even think there's but some kind of legitimate bodily fluid type stuff, or a video comes out and you see what happened 4 years later. You're like, oh, that was my sandwich.
I don't know. I think I'd leave it to the authorities.
Well, yeah, I'm not taking matters in my own hand. I'm just saying, what would it take to get to that point? Bad news with happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to our daily check-ins after Lincoln Park.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Rockmornings.com is the website where you can find all of our contact info. You can also download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and you can get in touch with us with voicemails and pictures and videos.
We'd love to hear from you. Please do.
Email from Doug said, good morning, tuning in now. So you may have already mentioned this, but rest in peace, David Roach, the lead singer from Junkyard, passed away after a battle with cancer a few days ago. Didn't mention it, but I did see it over the weekend. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. Got a text from Jim earlier. Was supposed to go to that Speedway Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend for Major League Baseball, but his truck apparently decided to break down on the way to the game, which led to a discussion about what happened there. And it sounds like some people that went to the game did not have a very good experience. Some people were comparing it to Fire Festival, which, if you've heard of that, you probably remember what it was all about.
Mm-hmm.
Where people were getting some lettuce and a piece of Kraft single cheese in a to-go container, and that was their VIP meal. I saw several pictures on the internet of people getting nacho chips with no cheese and hot dogs with no buns.
And it sounds like some people waited it out through the rain and had a good experience, so who knows?
Yeah, we did get a text from Chris. Said he was at the game. Don't know what concession stands those people went to, but my nachos had cheese and chili. Also plenty of cold beer. Got a text from Rob. Said a robot that cleans your house. I can't wait for the first hashtag Florida man that tries to have sex with it.
I
LOL.
don't know. A robot that cleans my house sounds pretty damn nice.
Yeah, we had that story earlier about researchers in China looking at building some kind of robot that can walk around your house or drive around with its wheels and pick up small
stuff.
items like Legos and toys and stuffed animals.
Clean it up, put it back.
Get them out of the way so that the Roomba can do its job. Yeah.
Or just get them out of the way. Or just pick them up. That sounds nice, too.
Replacing humans even further. The need for
that part
humans.
is okay to replace. That's okay.
Thanks for the correspondence. Have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.